back. Yo, cuz, mute yourself because I'm streaming. That bitch wild. Nah, I ain't had that bitch yet. That shit good.
Bro, you gotta try that shit, bro. Thank you later, cuz.
I hear you, cuz.
Press that. Keep asking.
do, cuz I'm gonna join right back after this game.
Welcome, football fans, to the birthplace of America, the city of brotherly love. The place where you'll find the best cheesesteak made in this country and some of the best football played inside of Lincoln Financial Field. Ball teed up, Brandon Aubrey out for the kick. And away we go at the link. Return coming from the 6. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Straight ahead, here's Cook. This is ahead for about 5. It was Marcus Williams in on that stop. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. That one gains 7. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that 3rd down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
First down throwing for Hurts. Chased out to his right. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
Well, discretion, the better part of valor in a lot of cases. Rather than force something with no one open and risk a turnover, he wisely just threw it away.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Hurts now from the gun. He's on the move. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 13 on that play. And that's good for an Eagles first down. Handoff headed right. It's Cook. He still has room inside the 30. And he takes this all the way down to the 24-yard line. Offense up to the line fast. Going to the ground again on first. And he's able to get this down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 coming up here. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4.
I can promise you, that's not what it looked like on the practice field, nor on the whiteboard. Typically, QB run is going to net you a whole lot more yardage than that. But let's give some credit. Strong effort by that defensive front who contained a play that typically goes for a whole lot more.
And he can't find the lane before being wrapped up at the line. Call it no gain that time, so now they face a 4th and 4.
When you rush the passer, it's kind of like tracking down a runner. That same pass, same athleticism comes to life. He looked pretty good hunting his prey right there.
Offense looking confident, but they need 4 here on 4th down. On 4th down, Hurts. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Marquise Bell making the play. And the Cowboys come up with a turnover and hold strong on 4th down. Well, they had one last gasp to try to make something happen here in the red zone, Brock. Just wasn't there. This defense too locked in, coming up with the interception.
Yeah, it's the work they do on those first 3 downs to get to this 4th down, like a pitcher does, to get to an 0-2 count. They know it's their advantage. And once that offense decides to go for it on 4th down, a good chance they're going to get that stop. And oh, by the way, a few style points added to the stat sheet with the INT.
3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7. From the 23. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well, no look on his first look of the game, and it's 3rd down. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit.
And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Eagles get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Not the auspicious debut they'd certainly hoped for on that opening drive. The coverage, impressive, taking their first possession away with that interception.
Hey, it is tough to play a clean game in this league. The caliber of defenders are awesome. You just hope that eventual missteps happen at a less meaningful moment than your opening series. You don't want to make it any harder to get your rhythm and get your passing game going.
And the ground game works for the touchdown. The Eagles pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Jalen Hurts with the touchdown. Extra point up and good by Elliott. And the Eagles will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. First down, here's Dak. Ferguson there to bring it in. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, just find a way to get him the ball.
Here's a give up the middle. And his drive up the middle gets him about 3. Zach Bond with the tackle.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Complete beyond the marker. And a massive hit at the end of that play. Oh, baby. But he hangs on through it. Still able to get that first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's a money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
That one's complete right side. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. New set of downs for him from the 46. Here's Prescott, 1st and 10. This one caught by C.D. Lamb. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Another throw for Prescott. Throwing this back in the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys get it down to a single point. That one not easy, Brock. Threading the needle there. Boy, there was a lot of traffic in the end zone, but he still found his man.
Yeah, you don't really recommend challenging double coverage in the end zone in this league, but when you give your receiver a chance in that spot, that's what they love. And sometimes you just have to trust that your guys are better than the ones surrounding him, and he'll go make that play anyway.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They have 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Here's Hurts. He's got this complete to James Cook. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down. Operating from the gun. Here's Hurts. That pass complete to Goddard. And they're going to bring him down just on the other side of midfield.
The goal of that little drag route is to get him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. That picked up a good chunk, and it was nearly a big play.
Shotgun snap for Hurts. Cook calls it in. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
I know that may look like a whole lot of nothing burger on the stat sheet, but those are the kind of plays, that inside run, that you see creative play action come off of later in the game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Now they'll throw out of the gun. That's incomplete left side.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Throwing here, Hurts. It's Dotson on the catch. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down. Juke the defender. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
When you call that 1st down running play, you don't always expect to get those kind of yards. They'll take that every single time.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Eagles take a 2nd quarter lead. Jalen Hurts with the touchdown. One after added on by Elliott. And the Eagles break that tie and now lead by 7. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. His return starts at the 5. A nice return, but what a hit we had at the end of it. First and 10 now from the 30. From the gun is Prescott. Well, the pressure nearly got to him, but still a good play defensively as that one falls incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Hits his running back. He gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Brought down on the effort by Quinyon Mitchell.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Prescott now on third down. That one's cut along the left sideline. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Dak throwing again. Complete out to the right side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. That's going to pick up the 1st down after a gain of 26. Give now to the running back. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
2nd and 12 behind the sticks. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Took his shot at 6 that time. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Oh, that is going to haunt him. A drop touchdown in the end zone. We'll see how good his mental toughness is if he can move past it quickly and make an impact for them later.
He has the first over the middle. And this one stopped at the 3-yard line. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he'll only find 1 yard up the gut. 2nd down.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Buckle up. It's 3rd and goal. Here's Dak. The back grabs it. And in for the Dallas touchdown. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock. Getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners. There'll be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game. Yeah. That's well done.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Now Hurts. Connecting on the slant. And he's out of bounds past midfield. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
On 1st down, Hurts. He just got rid of it, Brock, but he was still in that tackle box. This is going to draw the flag. No one in the area. He was still in the pocket. Seems like a pretty cut and dry intentional grounding to me.
Seems like you want to be an official someday, Kate.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah, because you nailed that one.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Hurts now from the gun. That pass caught by Dotson. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Third and long for him here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. The Cowboys signaling for their first timeout. Now on 4th down, on comes Braden Mann to boot this away for the Birds. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. That one an impressive 57-yard kick. And the Cowboys will get set to go on offense. We'll see how they choose to use these final 22 seconds, Brock, of our first half. Dak off the play fake. Fits it through the middle. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Now Dallas is going to call its second timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just 1 play. First down, here's Dak. He lets one fly deep downfield. Brought in inside the 20. There it is, touchdown Dallas. The Cowboys take the lead just before halftime. So Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset even early in the game that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Time left for maybe a return plus a play here as they send this away. Chooses to bring this one out. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Probably looking at our final snap of the half here on first down. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. And he has a decent gain on what's going to be the final play of the half. So that's the halfway point of this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Brock and I will be back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. Kate Scott, Brock Huard with you as we're about set to begin the third quarter. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Has this at the 6. He's got a lane up past the 30. His return reaches that 34-yard line before he stopped.
Oh, there's no question about it, Kate. That just infuses everybody. A little more bounce in your step now, both in and out of the huddle. And you want to pay off your special teams that sets you up for success.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he heads out of bounds. Great pickup on that run. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's good for a Cowboys first down.
I'll tell you what, Kate, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
See the pass, time up your hit, and jar that ball loose. Not a lot of players are hanging on through a well-placed hit like that one.
Second down, here's Prescott again. Buys time, rolling right. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
You know, that may have been a situation when you look back on it and he watches the tape the next day. He's got to find a way to throw the ball because his running ability, while it gets him some yards, is not enough to get the first down.
Prescott now to throw on third down. Throw complete to Lamb. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. He picks up 15 on the play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
They'll run here on first down. What a hit. He gets flattened to the ground. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. Prescott here from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. 14 yards on a nice play there, and it gives them 1st and goal.
I'm sure, Coach, the play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Going ground on 1st and goal. And he gets absolutely popped to end that one.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
So from the 3, here's 2nd and goal. Williams. And he mixed it across. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys grow the lead coming out of halftime. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. Well, we all knew what was coming when they got into that goal line formation, didn't we, Brock? And they just pound the rock in for an old-school touchdown.
I just sometimes love that stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing cute. Here's our formation. You know we're running right at you, and we challenge you to stop us, and you can't.
That's up and through for the point after. And the Cowboys double their lead to 14. Aubrey now to kick this one away. He doesn't like what he sees, so a touchback. They're going to begin at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Escapes the pocket. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. It's a gain of 29 yards. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
1 play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Now the shotgun give to Cook. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Another one for Cook. And that's only 1 yard up the middle. Gonna be 2nd down. Offense in the hurry up here. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Vacates quickly left side. Built up this one off to his running back, complete.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
3rd and just 2 to go. And he is into the end zone for a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles start the second half with some needed points. Jalen Hurts with a touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. Extra point up and good by Elliott. And the Eagles chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Return coming from the 6. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. First and 10 now from the 30. Dak now from the gun. He's on the move.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Handoff on 2nd and short. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10 plus, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
Off the play fake, it's Prescott. Got Lamb, and it's complete. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Eagles territory.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Running for the marker on 2nd. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes, but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. Play action, Prescott. Big catch made, and he got both feet in. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
A touchdown aside in that frame as we run out of time in the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys have it with a lead, but the win's not secure just yet. All right, here we go. 2nd down. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. On the move, headed right. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock, even if it would have been a touchdown. That was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
3rd and long, Prescott. Short pass brought in.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains. I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Fourth and 3, drive on the line. They're going for it. Here's Prescott. They did it! He made the interception! And the Eagles have some new life in the 4th. There are costly interceptions, Brock, and then there are interceptions inside the red zone in the second half of a one-score game.
And if there is ever a time where ball security is paramount, it is right now. They made a great play. Don't get me wrong. They
connect on the deep shot. And he breaks into enemy territory before being stopped on a huge gain. Brock, you remember when they were near their own end zone? Yeah, things have totally changed now. 1st and 10 in enemy territory. Continuing to dig, he's inside the 25. And he's finally stopped right at the start of that red zone, down at the 20. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs. All set up now for 1st and 10. Working inside the red zone. Rolling left, buying some time. Cowboys rushing in, and they bring him down. And they're going to have to regroup after this one.
And right there's the danger, Kate, when you put the ball in the air. How many times do we see these coordinators, when you get a nice run, right, you gain some steam on the ground, you stick with the ground game. They don't. They call the pass, and the defense reacts, and reacts well with a sack.
Flushed out of the pocket. He takes it himself. And that's a huge hit there, but he's still able to power through enough for a 1st and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
He doesn't slide down and he pays for it. A big shot sends him to the ground. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. The makings of a goal line stand here. No gain on the run, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. Do you continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air?
And the defense was ready. They got him at the line. 3 straight runs, stopped short of the end zone. And now what do they do on 4th and goal?
Nice little welcoming party waiting for him at the line of scrimmage. No surprises that time. This defense was ready.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Cook trying this one up the gut. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Eagles now trail by just a point in the 4th. It's a James Cook touchdown. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the 4th. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down.
Hey, maybe in the end this return just gets lost in the shuffle when we recap things, Kate. But you surrender a lead in the 4th quarter and you feel that momentum being lost. That's exactly what excellent special teams do. They turn it around. It's why that 3rd phase is coached and coached and coached, because you never know when your opportunity may arise. What a great return to begin this drive.
And he'll scurry forward for a pickup of 3.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Here's 2nd and 7. Finds him over the middle. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line. It's a pickup of
Can't tell me this is a good game, man.
Cowboys first down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
On first down, they'll run. Past midfield to the 45. And he's down all the way to the 30. They get 27 on the play. And it'll be first down, Dallas.
Best run games in this league at balance. Can run it inside, and as they just showed right there, doing damage on the outside.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10. Back to the well again. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
They give it to him again. Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
I know from the position of the quarterback, Kate, sometimes you hand that ball, you put it in the belly of the running back, and you send him right into the teeth of a buzzsaw. You can feel it from the jump, and that call from the defense, well, it came at the perfect time.
So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Cowboys in range for a game-winning score. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Looking to throw. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along your routes. And your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion. That's called getting his job done, Kate, drilling it right through. And now they're in position to win this game. Now it's on some of those guys who are out there with them on the kick, those defenders, to hang on to this lead to give them the win.
Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun handoff now to Cook. Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, okay? They don't always get the attention they deserve on broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
Back to throw. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
It stops him on the catch. And they get this down to the 28. The Cowboys signaling for their first time out. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. They are now set for 1st and 10. Now run by Cook. And he'll go down here at the 16. Eagles hustling everyone back to the line. He'll look to throw it. Goddard makes the catch. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. In the third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more.
And he will score and give them the lead in the final minute. Absolutely clutch score there, Brock, as they take the lead here in the final minute.
Incredible execution. The moment not too big for any of them. And Kate, they cashed in when it really mattered.
That one right down the middle. And the Eagles take a 4-point lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. He's going to field this at the 2. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Searching. And really, no, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game.
We've learned how valuable sacks in a pass rush are in today's NFL. It's a bit surprising, isn't it, Kate, that that's their first sack of the game, but they found other ways to produce success on both sides of the ball, and they finally pick up a much-needed sack on that stat sheet.
And they got there in time. He's taken down. Final timeout taken by the Cowboys. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least.
Some squads you just see love to do this, Kate, and I've got so much respect for defensive coordinators who late in the game, instead of playing prevent, well, they step up the aggression meter. Back-to-back sacks puts this offense and this quarterback way off schedule.
Now to throw. And that's incomplete with 7 seconds left. Time for 1, maybe 2 more snaps. Great defensive effort to reject that one. And that brings up 4th and long. Looking to throw it. Trying to push it deep downfield. And this one falls incomplete. No miracles on the final drive today. This game is over. So it's an Eagles win here in this one. And they're stacking momentum right away this season as they begin the year 2-0. So for my partner Brock Hewitt and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners as we say so long from Philadelphia.
Yes, them a look good in my tight little dress. Rock it up and me make the man them obsessed. Put in the work when we dance and we sweat. Dangerous when you get smooth like the skin on my face. Draw figure eight when I wind up my waist. Bumper and boom, we no need either wait. If you get it, off the plate. Wanna run it up, all night. If the lights went down, get your kip up, baby. You wanna drop it down, pick it up, turn around, lift it
game.